Hi, my name is Tom, and welcome to Living Through Limits. Today we're going to work on another part of the front gate and then hopefully get onto the fence. We've got to cut our gate boards to length. Because this is all rough sawed redwood, some of them are different widths and thicknesses and stuff like that. So what I want to do is make sure everything is flat against the fence on the chop saw, and then I'm going to utilize a clamp to hold it in place. So I'm going to use my square to get the lengths all together. So as you can see here too, I'm flat against my fence, everything's even, but you can tell the boards are different width. Well, it's a fence, so that little bit, I'm not gonna rip those down on my table saw, but I want them to be the same length, so then we'll place them on the gate, and I'll be able to measure my last board for the gate to figure out where I have to rip that board, and I have to rip it before I cut it off on the because the fence actually goes down longer than the gate does. So let's get this where it needs to be. And now they're all even. Slide this back this way a little bit. Now what I can do is I can grab my 2-inch screws. My 4-foot level. And we can take this all out. And of course my drill gun, or my driver. And let me show you what I'm using here. It's a Milwaukee. I found that it works pretty good, but it's a little impact driver. So with this the star bit in this, get one of my screws, you can see it has a star bit on here too. It fits really well, and instead of a Phillips has a tendency kind of to strip out. So this also has a little slot cut in here, helps work as a kind of like a drill bit, keeps the wood from splitting. So now we can move on out into where the gate is going to be put back up, or put up. So here we are at the gate, and we've got our first board set up, checked it for plumb, and now we'll put in some, just a couple of screws to hold it. Alright, here we are getting ready to rip our fence board for the gate and for the fence. One thing that's always good to do is to unplug your saw when you're making adjustments. So we'll get this thing up to where it needs to be. Take out our tape measure. It's sitting at about 1.25 inches, which is good. And our board needs to be ripped to 4.25 inches. So this saw is probably as old as I am. It was my dad's, and so the rip fence isn't the best thing in the world, but it works for what I'm doing. So there's 4.25. And the thing is, when I move that side, it also moves this side, so it's a lot of back and forth. So we'll lock that into place. Now, when we're figuring out our fence board, I wanted to make sure the gate has to be 69.5 inches long, but the fence board is at 6 foot. I want to rip it and then cut the gate board down, but not the fence board. I have my little push stick that had fallen on the floor. I'm gonna plug my saw back in. If our gate is this way, we're gonna have 4.25 inches off here. This will start on the fence. So when I rip this, I want to make sure this edge is up against that fence on the saw. So many things named fence. Okay. Now, and I like this side of the board better. So we're going to rip this side off. We're running into a little dilemma because my board is longer than the room I have. So what I have to do is bring my board back over here. This board we want to cut to 69.5 inches. Well, as you can see, the gate's on. Looks pretty good, if I say so myself. And on the next video, we'll continue on down the fence, I mean. So until then, thank you for watching Living Through Limits. Please subscribe, hit the like, thumbs up, and check out give us an email, comments, and we'll see you on the next video.